Now, text number 73. So Krishna has ended. You have a question? What? Speak in the mic. Because I can't hear. Speak in the mic.
Prabhuji, sometimes some other Hindu temples, we go to the Radharaman temple, and they always, sometimes they mention like Bhagavan Shivaji. They say like that.
Yes.
So is it is it from the scripture?
Yes, because even you will find in Bhagavatam, Narada is sometimes referred to as Bhagavan. So it can be used accordingly. So that's why this is an interesting point. This is why in the Bhagavatam, in the 3rd chapter, this is why that one line in Bhagavatam is so important. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Because yes, as I said, sometimes Lord Shiva is in the Bhagavatam referred to as Bhagavan. Even sometimes Brahma is referred to as Bhagavan, meaning empowered. But this line in the Bhagavatam, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, makes it clear. There may be many Bhagavans, but Krishna is supreme Bhagavan of all the other Bhagavans. Purna. Have you heard this phrase? Purna Bhagavan. Lord Shiva is not Purna Bhagavan. Neither is Narada. Now sometimes Narayan Vishnu is called Purna, but the Purna Bhagavan, Krishna, which even in Bhagavad-gītā, Mattak Parataram Nanyat. No truth superior to me, Krishna says. Okay? So sometimes this word Bhagavan can be used in a generic sense, meaning somebody who's extraordinarily powerful. Like I said, you will see in the Bhagavatam, Brahma, Narada, okay, Shiva, okay? But when it comes to full Bhagavan, Adi Bhagavan, Krishna. What did Bhishma say on his deathbed? Adi Narayan. Do you know that? That's Bhagavad-gītā, yes. But even Bhishma says to Krishna, when Bhishma is about to give, he said, here is the original Narayan. Anybody going to argue with Bhishma? Right?
Krishna, they said, Bhishma is the original
Narayan is Krishna.
But original and Krishna. Original is like, it come from the origin.
Yes.
You mean to say, right?
Yes.
It's not like, it is the Narayan. It's not like that. It's origin from the, Krishna is the origin for Narayan.
Yes.
Not like, how can you say, Narayan is the, Krishna is in Narayan, but is everything coming from the Krishna.
Yes.
It's all Narayan and
yes.
All that,
yes.
So, but the one thing, Bhagavan means six who
possesses six opulences.
Yeah. So how that?
Because yes.
Just
so Shiva also has many opulences. Lord Brahma has many opulences. So it depends on your angle of vision. Even you will find in Bhagavatam, Indra is sometimes called Bhagavan. Because from one angle of vision, he's got opulences. Okay? You want me to show you in the Bhagavatam? You think I'm making this up? I'll show you. I will show you. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on the, how can you say, the context. Okay? It depends on the context. But that's why that line in Bhagavatam, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. Here is Bhagavan himself in the original, ultimate form. Okay? Good enough?
Why don't you say Supreme Bhagavan Uvacha? Why don't you say really
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Supreme Bhagavan Uvacha?
So how does Prabhupada translate? Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Prabhupada is giving you that understanding. That's why you have to read Prabhupada's Gita as it is. In that everywhere he says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. On this point, so that you don't get confused, that just any Bhagavan said. Right? Can we move on? All right? So this is an important, so Krishna is done speaking. That's it. So let's give Krishna a hand. He has finished his Bhagavad-gītā. Now Arjuna. So let's see. Bhagavad-gītā is done. Let's see what Arjuna says. Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Nashtamoha smritir labdha.
Nastomo smriti labda.
Tvat prasadan maya chuta.
Tvat prasadan maya chuta.
Shtitosmi gata sandeha.
Stitosmi gata sandeha.
Kurishye vachanang tava.
Karise vachanam tava.
That's the key line. Let's do that again. Kurishye vachanang tava.
Karise vachanam tava.
Again. Kurishye vachanang tava.
Karise vachanam tava.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna said.
Arjuna
Nashta,
Nasta.
dispelled. Moha, illusion.
Illusion.
Smriti,
Smriti.
memory.
Memory.
Labdha,
Labdha.
regain.
Regain.
Tvat prasadat,
Tvat prasada.
by your mercy.
By your mercy.
Maya,
Maya.
by me.
By me.
Achyuta,
Asyuta.
O infallible Krishna.
O infallible Krishna.
Stita,
Stita.
situated.
Situated.
Asmi,
Asmi.
I am. Gata,
Gata.
removed.
Remove.
Sandeha,
Sandeha.
all doubts.
All doubt.
Karishye,
Karishe.
I shall execute.
I shall execute.
Vachanam,
Vachanam.
order.
Order.
Tava,
Tava.
your.
Your.
Please repeat. Arjuna said,
Arjuna said,
my dear Krishna,
my dear Krishna,
O infallible one,
all infallible one,
my illusion is now gone.
my illusion is now gone.
I have regained my memory
I have regained my memory
by your mercy.
by your mercy.
I am now firm
I am now firm
and free from doubt,
and free from doubt
and I am prepared to act
and prepared to act
according to your instructions.
according to your instruction.
Now, this purport to this verse is very, very nice. You could almost say it is like a good gist of Bhagavad-gītā. So please read this purport with me very carefully and let it sink in. Prabhupada's purport is as follows. The constitutional position of a living entity represented by Arjuna is that he has to act according to the order of the Supreme Lord. He is meant for self-discipline. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual position of the living entity is that of eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Forgetting this principle, the living entity becomes conditioned by material nature. But in serving the Supreme Lord, he becomes the liberated servant of God. The living entity's constitutional position is to be a servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. Stop here. There are no other options. So this is why this purport is so, it's a complete conclusion. If you want to, this purport, one purport here, you will understand Krishna consciousness in a nutshell. So the first thing is, no matter who you are, I'm sorry, we're simply a servant. You may not like this, but that is the reality. You're not anything but a servant. And I was working in Westwood as a bookkeeper. They offered I could have some stationery. And so they said, on your stationery, what title? So I put servant. So my stationery had such servant, because I understood this. I'm not anything but a servant. And Prabhupada makes it clear here. You have two options, Maya or Krishna. It's only vanilla or chocolate. That's it. That's all they're offering. Maya or Krishna. Krishna is the chocolate, Maya is the vanilla, because chocolate is dark like Krishna. Okay? Let's continue. The living entity's constitutional position is to be a servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his normal condition. But if he prefers to serve the illusory external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. That's why there's that article. Who is crazy? Everybody's crazy. Why? Because they're thinking, I'm this body. And they're thinking, I'm the enjoyer. Or they're thinking, I'm president, I'm doctor, No, you're a servant. That's what you are. All other conceptions is craziness. That's why when Lord Chaitanya was asked, Prabhupada referred to it. Sanatana Goswami said, who am I? And what did Lord Chaitanya say? Jivera Swarupahai Krishnera Nityadas. You are nothing more, nothing less than the eternal servant of God. Let's continue. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his normal condition, but if he prefers to serve the illusory external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires, yet he thinks of himself as master of the world. This is called illusion. And this is the same concept that Prabhupada spoke on. Same thing is there in his poem on board the Jaladuta, and the same thing on his first record when he gave the explanation of the Maha Mantra. Same concept was explained. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires, yet he thinks himself as the master of the world. That's Maya. You're actually one thing, but you're thinking something else. That's Maya. Very clear. This is called illusion. When a person is liberated, his illusion is over, and he voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme Lord to act according to his desires. His capital, meaning Krishna's desires. Krishna's desires means that Krishna is a person. If Krishna is not a person, then he can't have desires, can he? An imperson cannot have these. Only a person can have desires. So therefore, God is a person, because he says here, as his desires. In other words, Krishna's. The last illusion, the last snare of Maya to trap the living entity is the proposition that he is God. And that was Shankaracharya's main philosophy. That's why we reject Shankaracharya. Because that's what he taught. You're God, you just forgot. Now do meditation, do yoga, you'll remember that you're God. And that's why Lord Chaitanya defeated Mayavad philosophy. And that's why we don't accept it. Because we're servant, not God. The living entity thinks that he is no longer a conditioned soul, but God. He is so unintelligent that he does not think that if he were God, then how could he be in doubt? That he does not consider. So that is the last snare of illusion. Actually, to become free from the illusory energy is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and agree to act according to his order. His, again, capital H, referring to Krishna. The word moha is very important in this verse. Moha refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Actually, real knowledge is the understanding that every living being is eternally a servitor of the Lord. You'll notice in chapter 4, there's that famous verse, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatvadart, that you approach the Guru in order to get the truth. And in the very next verse, Krishna tells you what is that truth that the spiritual master reveals to you. And what is that? That all living beings are part of Krishna, are in Krishna, and belong to Krishna. That's the truth that you learn when you get a bona fide spiritual master. Same thing being said here, that every living being is eternally a servitor of the Lord. That's real transcendental knowledge. But instead of thinking oneself in that position, the living entity thinks that he's not a servant, that he is the master of this material world, for he wants to lord it over the material nature. In the Christian philosophy, the concept of the Satan, the devil, what does Satan say? Because Satan used to be an angel of God, but he rebelled. And why did he rebel? Because he no longer wanted to be God's servant. And the classic phrase is, rather to reign in hell than serve in heaven. That's the devil's mantra. That's his creed. He didn't want to be God's servant anymore. He wanted, what reign means, I want to be the king. So God said, okay, you can be the king of hell. There you go ahead. Go ahead. Try to be king. But it's called hell. Suffer. Yes, that's there. That's what I was raised on. That's what my early theology. But now that I come to Krishna consciousness, I can give expert purport to Bible. I can give them transcendental explanation. This is his illusion. Let's go back. The living entity thinks that he is not a servant, that he is the master of this material world, for he wants to lord it over the material nature. That is his illusion. This illusion can be overcome by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of a pure devotee. In my case, mercy of Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
That is how. When that illusion is over, one agrees to act in Krishna consciousness, meaning free will. Agree means you can say no. That very word agrees means You could also disagree. So that implies free will. You have that choice. Krishna consciousness is acting according to Krishna's order. A conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy of matter, does not know that the Supreme Lord is the Master, who is full of knowledge and who is the proprietor of everything. Whatever he desires, he can bestow upon his devotees. He is the friend of everyone, and he is especially inclined to his devotee. Prabhupada is simply giving you one-liners from verses in the Bhagavad-gītā. He is friend of everyone. What's the line, Rama? Suridam sarvabhutanam. Then he said, he is especially inclined his devotee. That's in 9th chapter. He is the controller of this material nature. Mayadyaksena prakriti. Prabhupada knows this Bhagavad-gītā. And of all living entity. He is the controller of inexhaustible time. Kalosmi. Time I am. And I have come to engage or destroy all people. From the 11th chapter, the universal form. And he is full of all opulences and potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can even give himself to the devotee, such as Damodar Leela. Did Krishna give himself? Yes, he allowed himself to be tied up by Mother Yashoda. Not by ropes, but by Yashoda's what? Love. Yes, by the love, not the ropes, because he already showed. You can bring all the ropes in the world, it ain't going to tie me. But when Yashoda became frustrated, flabbergasted, then Krishna said, okay, now I'm going to let you tie me up. Not beforehand. Was always 2 fingers too short. One who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee, but a servitor of Maya. Arjuna, however, after hearing Bhagavad-gītā from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became free from all illusion. He could understand that Krishna was not only his friend, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he understood Krishna factually. So to study Bhagavad-gītā is to understand Krishna factually. When a person is in full knowledge, he naturally surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessary increase of population, he agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapons, his arrows and bow to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Collect the books and pass out the song books, please. Hare Krishna.